The incredible final battle between Paul Atreides and Phaedratha in Dune, Part 2 has massive implications for the future of the celebrated sci-fi franchise. While there are several differences from the book in Dune, Part 2, they notably don't work against Frank Herbert's source material and mostly enhance the pace and balance of the film. Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi masterpiece has still maintained its status as one of the highest-rated blockbusters in recent memory with its current 93% Rotten Tomatoes score. While a third Dune film has yet to be announced, Villeneuve has confirmed that he is nearly done with the Dune, Messiah screenplay. The major reveal of the crossover between the Harkonnen and Atreides family tree in Dune, Part 2 has completely changed the range of outcomes for Paul moving forward. His defeat of Phaedratha reaffirmed his standing as the Lisan al-Gaib among the Freemen as Paul now sets his sights on the supreme throne of the Emperor. Dune 2's impressive box office performance has surpassed the domestic box office total of its predecessor Dune, 2021, earning more than $110 million in its first week alone. The current worldwide box office total for Dune, Part 2 is just under $211 million as of the time of writing, a number that will surely rise in the coming weeks. Paul Atreides and Phaedratha are mirrors of each other. One of the main truths of both Paul and Phaedratha is that they are essentially pawns in the Bene Gesserit's game, given status, power, and opportunity through their selected genetic developments, noble bloodlines, and abilities to acquire technical and combat skills. This essentially makes the two characters mirrors of one another, since they are very much like two internationally renowned athletes competing for the world championship in any given sport. Phaedratha is clearly the more dark and intense version of Paul, who conversely clings to the role of a natural-born leader. Despite not knowing each other throughout Dune and Dune, Part 2, Paul discovers that the two of them are actually cousins, sharing the same grandfather in Vladimir Harkonnen. There is a brotherly familiarity and playfulness between them even as they fight to the death. It's evident as the two of them prepare to fight that Feyd senses a likeness between him and Paul and appears to instantly respect him for being essentially cut from the same cloth. In a way, Feyd admires and wants to be like Paul when he is killed with his "You fought well, Atreides" line. Paul's fight with Phaedratha was foreshadowed in Dune 1 and 2. Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides walking in Dune 2 custom image by Debanjana Chowdhury. Paul's showdown with Phaedratha was in many ways foreshadowed in Dune and Dune, Part 2, specifically in the early combat training days with Gurney when the Atreides first arrived on Arrakis. Paul also had visions of his inevitable fight with Phaedratha in the sequel. Paul is clearly training and building towards something, a fateful day that will fully test how prepared he is to fulfill his destiny. His fight with Phaedratha was the culmination of all his training, acting as the endpoint of Paul's ascension to greatness and firmly establishing the arrival of a new era under his reign.